The Stoics mastered the art of observation, knowing that subtle actions often reveal the deepest truths. In the realm of relationships, understanding a woman's intentions can feel like deciphering a secret code. But there are undeniable signs when her feelings for you extend beyond mere friendship. In this video, I'll guide you through 7 unmistakable signals that she likes you as more than a friend. Stick around until the end to uncover the nuances of her actions, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your story in the comments below. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. She's always there for you. When a woman consistently offers support, advice, and comfort, especially during tough times, it's more than just kindness. If she prioritizes your needs, checks in on you frequently, or goes out of her way to be helpful, it reflects a deeper level of care. Her actions go beyond casual friendship and hint at something much deeper, a genuine desire to see you succeed and thrive. Support in friendships is normal, but when she's always there, even when it's inconvenient or challenging for her, it signals that you hold a special place in her heart. For example, does she take the time to remember your deadlines at work, offer words of encouragement when you're doubting yourself, or even step in with practical help when you need it most? These acts of attentiveness and reliability demonstrate not just thoughtfulness, but a profound emotional investment in your well-being. Consider how rare this kind of loyalty is in a world where people often prioritize their own convenience. If she's the person who texts you first when she knows you have an important meeting or sends you a random message to check on how you're feeling, she's showing that your happiness and peace of mind are genuinely important to her. This goes beyond being polite or considerate. It's a deliberate effort to stay emotionally connected to your life. Her actions can also be seen as a form of emotional consistency. She doesn't just show up for the big, dramatic moments, she's present for the small, quiet challenges that many overlook. Whether it's celebrating your wins or helping you process your losses, she makes it clear that she's in your corner. From reminding you to drink water when you're stressed to staying up late to help you prepare for a project, she's there in ways that make a tangible difference. The Stoics emphasized the value of loyalty and steadfastness, virtues that are critical in any meaningful relationship. Her unwavering presence mirrors this philosophy. Loyalty isn't about grand gestures, it's about the quiet, consistent actions that prove someone is dependable and trustworthy. When she's there for you without needing to be asked, it's a sign of her character and the depth of her feelings for you. Pay attention to whether her actions are consistent and unprompted. Does she seem to intuitively know when you need support or encouragement? Does she act without waiting for you to explicitly ask for help? If she's always finding ways to make your life easier or brighter, it's a clear signal that you're more than just a friend to her. In times of difficulty, she might even put her own needs aside to prioritize yours. This isn't about self-sacrifice for the sake of it, it's about her wanting to contribute to your happiness and success because it genuinely matters to her. These moments of selflessness speak volumes about how much she values you and your bond. If she's the first person you think of when things go wrong, it's likely because she's made herself indispensable in your life. Her consistent presence and unwavering support have built a foundation of trust that makes her your go-to person. Whether it's a rough day at work, a personal challenge, or even a moment of celebration, you know she'll always be there to share it with you. Ultimately, her actions reveal how much she values your connection. True care isn't about words, it's about showing up even when it's inconvenient or difficult. When she prioritizes your needs, cheers for your victories, and supports you in your struggles, she's proving that she's deeply invested in your life and your happiness. And that kind of loyalty and support is a rare and beautiful gift. Chapter 2. She remembers all the important dates in your life. Does she remember your birthday, the anniversary of your job, or even the date your pet passed away? Keeping track of these details isn't just friendly, it's an act of deep emotional investment. Women who harbor genuine affection for you often exhibit an extraordinary level of attentiveness, ensuring that you feel seen, valued, and cherished. Think about it. How many people in your life remember these seemingly small but significant dates? If she goes out of her way to acknowledge them, it's not accidental. Perhaps she surprises you with a thoughtful gift on a date you had entirely forgotten, or sends you a heartfelt message reminding you of something you might have let slip. These gestures may seem minor on the surface, but they carry immense weight as they stem from her desire to remain closely connected to your world. There's a beauty in the subtleties of these actions. It's not just about remembering dates, but also what they symbolize. Your birthday, for example, represents your very existence. An anniversary might celebrate a personal achievement or milestone. Even remembering the date of a pet's passing shows her capacity to empathize with your joys and your sorrows. This isn't just attention to detail, it's a window into her emotional commitment and her willingness to show up for you in meaningful ways. Moreover, these moments are about more than just the act of remembering. They're about how she uses that memory to express care. A small, unexpected gesture like giving you a card on your job anniversary or bringing up a positive memory from a tough time reveals her thoughtfulness and desire to make you feel appreciated. These actions reflect a deeper emotional awareness, demonstrating that she's not just paying attention, she's actively engaging with the moments that matter most to you. From a Stoic perspective, attentiveness is a powerful virtue, demonstrating a clear alignment between values and actions. When she remembers these milestones, it reveals how much she listens, observes, and internalizes the things that matter to you. It's a way of showing you that your life and experiences resonate deeply with her. This kind of mindfulness isn't something that can be faked, it's an authentic reflection of how much she values your bond and how deeply she's connected to your story. Pay close attention to these moments, as they reveal more than words ever could. Actions like these embody a deliberate effort to create a shared sense of meaning and belonging. They demonstrate that she's not just passively present in your life, she's actively investing in it. If you find her consistently going out of her way to commemorate these dates, it's a sign that she's emotionally invested in nurturing the connection you share. In relationships, mutual respect and care often hinge on recognizing and celebrating the other person's life journey. By remembering the key dates in your life, she's signaling that your happiness and milestones are just as important to her as they are to you. This level of attentiveness creates an emotional bridge, building a foundation of trust and understanding that strengthens your bond. Her attentiveness also reflects her ability to see beyond surface-level interactions. She's not merely showing politeness or fulfilling an obligation, she's revealing a deep appreciation for who you are and what you've been through. It's her way of saying, "I'm paying attention because you matter to me." This sense of being seen and acknowledged can make you feel more value than any grand gesture ever could. So, let her actions guide you in determining the depth of her affection. Romantic interest isn't always expressed through grand declarations. Sometimes, it's found in the quiet, consistent way someone chooses to honor your story. When she makes the effort to remember and celebrate the moments that define you, it's her way of saying, "I see you, I value you, and I'm here for you." These moments of care and attentiveness speak volumes about the depth of her feelings and the strength of her emotional connection to you. Chapter 3. She tries to be alone with you. When a woman is interested in more than just friendship, she will subtly or overtly seek opportunities to spend time alone with you. These moments aren't coincidental, they're intentional efforts to foster a deeper connection. Whether she invites you for coffee, suggests a quiet walk, or asks for help with something personal, these actions reveal her desire to create a more intimate setting where the barriers of a group dynamic can dissolve. In group settings, emotions and intentions can get lost in the noise. Conversations are fragmented, and attention is divided among multiple people. If she's genuinely interested in you, she'll often find these environments too impersonal to communicate her feelings effectively. Instead, she'll look for ways to isolate moments where you and she can truly connect. This doesn't mean she'll always be direct about it. Sometimes, she might casually suggest activities or situations that naturally lead to alone time, like saying, "Hey, I've been meaning to check out this new cafe. Want to come with me? Or I could use a second opinion on this. Mind helping me out?" The frequency of her attempts to be alone with you is a significant indicator. If she consistently seeks these moments, it's a strong sign that she values your company above others. Watch how she behaves during these one-on-one encounters. Does she seem more relaxed, open, or vulnerable compared to when you're in a group? These shifts in behavior often signal her comfort and trust in your presence. Even in larger social situations, her efforts to carve out private moments can be telling. She might position herself closer to you, steer the conversation in your direction, or suggest leaving the group for a quieter setting. These subtle actions aren't just about convenience, they're deliberate choices designed to create a space where the two of you can share something more meaningful. The Stoics value deep and purposeful interactions, emphasizing the importance of being present and attuned to others. When a woman prioritizes alone time with you, she's signaling that she cherishes these interactions. It's her way of showing that she values not only your presence, but also the unique connection you share. These moments of solitude offer her a chance to reveal more about herself. Pay attention to what she shares during these times. Does she open up about her dreams, fears, or personal experiences? Vulnerability is often a precursor to deeper intimacy, and if she's willing to share these aspects of her life with you, it's a clear sign that she sees you as someone special. Additionally, consider how she reacts to distractions during your one-on-one time. If she's fully engaged, rarely checking her phone or seeming preoccupied, it's a sign that she's focused on you. Distractions are inevitable in today's world, but her effort to remain present when you're together speaks volumes about her interest and investment in the moment. Sometimes, her efforts to be alone with you might come in the form of seeking your input or advice on matters she considers important. By involving you in her decisions or asking for your perspective, she's signaling that she values your opinion and trusts your judgment. These moments are not just about the task at hand, they're about deepening your bond and showing you that your thoughts and feelings matter to her. Physical proximity during these one-on-one moments is another significant factor. Does she sit or stand closer than usual? Does she create a sense of shared space that feels more intimate than platonic? Proximity is a subconscious way of fostering closeness, and when paired with her willingness to seek time alone, it's a strong indication of her interest. From a Stoic perspective, these opportunities for solitude are precious. They're a chance to engage in meaningful dialogue, observe her actions, and truly understand her intentions. Stoic philosophy teaches us to approach these moments with clarity and composure, appreciating them for what they are without overanalyzing or rushing to conclusions. It's also essential to reciprocate appropriately. When she initiates these one-on-one moments, show that you value them too. Be attentive, listen actively, and engage in genuine conversation. Avoid distractions or actions that might make her feel undervalued, as these moments are her way of testing the waters for something deeper. Finally, consider the cumulative effect of these moments. If she's consistently seeking alone time with you and the quality of these interactions feels different from typical friendship, it's a clear sign she's interested in something more. These are the spaces where relationships transition from casual to meaningful, and her actions are her way of signaling that she's ready for that shift. When a woman tries to be alone with you, she's prioritizing a connection that goes beyond the surface. Her actions reflect a desire to explore something more profound, a bond that requires undivided attention and presence. Recognize and value these moments for what they are, a step toward something deeper and more intimate. Chapter 4: Her body language changes around you. Body language is an unspoken language that often reveals more than words ever can. When a woman feels an attraction to someone, her body unconsciously mirrors her emotions, sending subtle yet unmistakable signals. If you pay close attention, these physical cues can give you invaluable insights into her true feelings. For instance, if she leans in while you're talking, it's not just about hearing you better, it's a gesture of closeness. She's trying to bridge the physical space between you, indicating her comfort and interest. Prolonged and frequent eye contact is another key sign. When her gaze lingers longer than usual or when her eyes light up during conversations, she's expressing her engagement and emotional connection. Casual touches are perhaps the most telling. Whether it's a gentle brush of her hand against yours, a playful nudge, or a light touch on your arm, these moments are rarely accidental. They reflect her desire to establish a tactile connection, testing the waters to see how you respond. Subtler gestures include mirroring your movements. If you cross your arms, lean back, or pick up your drink, and she does the same shortly after, it's a subconscious signal that she's in sync with you. Mirroring is rooted in our psychological need to establish rapport and foster trust. When she mimics your actions, she's aligning herself with you on a deeper level. Pay attention to how she positions her body in social settings. If she consistently angles herself toward you, even in a group, it's a sign you're her primary focus. Her body is subconsciously communicating her preference for your company, even if her words don't explicitly say so. Fidgeting with her hair is another classic indicator. Whether she's twirling it, smoothing it, or tucking it behind her ear, these actions often stem from nervous energy or a desire to draw attention to herself. Similarly, adjusting her clothing or jewelry when you're around could be her way of ensuring she looks her best in your presence. The Stoics emphasized the power of observation, and this is where their wisdom truly shines. By focusing on her nonverbal cues, you can understand her feelings even when she doesn't articulate them. Observing without judgment allows you to respond with confidence and authenticity, creating a stronger connection. Notice how her expressions change around you. Does she smile more often, laugh a little louder, or maintain an open and relaxed posture? These are positive signs that she feels at ease and enjoys your presence. A genuine smile that reaches her eyes, often referred to as a Dutchan smile, is particularly telling, as it's difficult to fake and reflects true happiness. Even subtle signs of nervousness, like adjusting her seating position frequently or tapping her foot lightly, can indicate she's trying to manage her emotions around you. Nervous energy often accompanies romantic interest, as she may feel a mix of excitement and vulnerability in your presence. Her proximity to you is another critical factor. Does she find reasons to stand or sit closer to you, even when there's plenty of space? Does she linger near you when others are around? This unspoken closeness is a clear indication that she's drawn to you and wants to be within your orbit. In group settings, her body language can reveal even more. If she consistently turns toward you when speaking, frequently includes you in the conversation, or uses open gestures like uncrossed arms and leaning forward, it's a strong signal of her attraction. Contrast this with how she interacts with others. If her gestures are more reserved or her attention isn't as focused, you'll know you stand out to her. One of the most powerful aspects of body language is its honesty. Unlike words, which can be carefully chosen or masked, physical gestures are often subconscious and difficult to control. This makes them a reliable indicator of her true emotions. However, it's important to consider the context. While leaning in or touching might signal attraction in one setting, it could also be a sign of general friendliness or comfort in another. Look for patterns and consistency in her behavior to accurately gauge her interest. The Stoics taught that composure and awareness are essential in navigating relationships. When you notice her body language signaling attraction, remain grounded and confident. Overanalyzing or calling attention to these signs can disrupt the natural flow of connection. Instead, respond subtly, mirror her gestures, maintain steady eye contact, or offer a gentle touch when appropriate. These small actions reinforce the bond without overwhelming her or seeming overly eager. Ultimately, her body language is a window into her emotions. It reflects her comfort, interest, and excitement about being around you. By observing and understanding these cues, you can navigate your interactions with wisdom and grace, creating a foundation for a deeper and more meaningful connection. Chapter 5. She talks about you to others. When a woman consistently brings you up in conversations with her friends, it's a strong signal that you're occupying her thoughts in a meaningful way. This behavior extends beyond casual chatter. It's a deliberate act that reveals her deeper feelings and intentions. If you hear through mutual friends that she's been asking about you or discussing you, take note. It's her way of processing her emotions and seeking external validation about her growing interest in you. Imagine this scenario. You're at a gathering, and one of her friends casually mentions that she's spoken about you. They might know your favorite coffee order, the hobbies you're passionate about, or even the quirks that make you unique. This isn't random, it's because she's been sharing those details. Her friend's familiarity with your preferences is a reflection of how much she's been thinking about you, even in your absence. This kind of behavior often stems from a place of excitement and curiosity. When someone feels deeply about another person, they naturally want to talk about them. For her, discussing you is a way of exploring her own emotions while seeking feedback from those she trusts. She might ask her friends questions like, "Do you think he likes me?" or "How should I approach him?" These inquiries are her way of navigating the uncertainty and building the confidence to take things further. From a psychological perspective, discussing you with others also allows her to test the waters socially. By observing how her friends react to mentions of you, she's gauging whether they approve of you as a potential romantic partner. Positive feedback from her inner circle can reinforce her feelings and encourage her to pursue a deeper connection with you. This behavior aligns with Stoic teachings about intentionality and focus. The Stoics emphasized that where we direct our thoughts and actions reflects our true priorities. For her to consistently talk about you, she's demonstrating a clear intent and focus on you. It's a sign that she's considering you as more than just a friend and is beginning to see you as someone who could play a significant role in her life. Interestingly, this dynamic often extends to her nonverbal communication as well. If her friends start treating you differently, perhaps they're more welcoming, teasing her in your presence, or even hinting at her interest, it's because they've been primed by her conversations. This subtle shift in their behavior is a reflection of her feelings spilling over into her social circle. Another layer to this behavior is her vulnerability. Sharing her feelings about you with others exposes her to potential judgment or embarrassment, especially if her friends don't share her enthusiasm. That she's willing to take this risk underscores the depth of her interest. It's not just idle talk, it's an investment of her emotional energy into understanding and connecting with you. You might also notice that she amplifies her efforts to bring you into her social world. She could invite you to group outings, introduce you to her close friends, or create opportunities for you to interact with the people she values most. This is her way of integrating you into her life and observing how well you fit into her existing social structure. If her friends seem unusually curious about you or make an effort to include you, it's likely because she's been advocating for you in their private conversations. To respond to this behavior effectively, pay attention to the signs and reciprocate with subtle but meaningful gestures. For instance, if her friends mention that she's been talking about you, acknowledge it with a light-hearted comment like, "Good things, I hope." This not only shows that you're aware of her interest, but also creates an opening for her to elaborate on her feelings. It's also important to engage positively with her friends. Building a good rapport with them can strengthen her attraction to you, as their approval will likely matter to her. By demonstrating kindness, humor, and confidence in their presence, you reinforce the positive image she's been painting of you in her conversations. However, it's crucial not to overanalyze or become overly reliant on what her friends say. While their insights can provide valuable, Chapter 6, her appearance changes. When a woman begins to modify her appearance in noticeable or even subtle ways, it's often a deliberate attempt to capture your attention and signal her interest. These changes aren't random, they're strategic gestures designed to stand out in your eyes. Whether it's a new outfit, a fresh hairstyle, or makeup that enhances her features, these alterations are often a reflection of her feelings toward you. Consider this scenario. She's always dressed casually around others, but when she knows she'll see you, her style seems to evolve. Maybe she starts wearing colors you've complimented her on before, or she adopts a look that aligns with your preferences. These shifts, while they might seem minor, are her way of saying, "I care about how you perceive me." One of the most telling signs is her attention to detail. She might wear a specific perfume that lingers just enough to leave an impression or style her hair in a way that highlights her best features. Even the smallest adjustments, like changing her nail color or accessorizing with jewelry, can be deliberate. Each choice is a subtle bid to enhance her allure and ensure that you notice her. This behavior stems from a deeply ingrained psychological principle. Humans often alter their appearance to attract those they're interested in. For women, this might mean aligning their style with what they believe you'll find appealing. If she's learned about your taste in fashion or noticed your compliments about a particular look, she's likely to incorporate those elements into her own presentation. From an evolutionary standpoint, such efforts reflect her instinct to make herself more desirable. Women have long used appearance as a form of nonverbal communication, signaling health, vitality, and attraction. If she's putting in extra effort to look her best around you, it's because she values your opinion and wants to stand out from the crowd. It's not just about looking good, it's also about creating memorable experiences. If she wears a specific outfit or tries a new hairstyle and observes your reaction, she's likely gauging your interest. Did you notice the change? Did you compliment her? Positive feedback will encourage her to continue these efforts, as it reinforces her belief that you find her attractive. The Stoics, though often associated with inner virtues, also appreciated the significance of external presentation. They believed that one's outward appearance should reflect their inner discipline and self-respect. When a woman enhances her look around you, it's a form of respect not just for herself, but for the connection she hopes to build with you. She's signaling that she values the potential relationship enough to present the best version of herself. Another layer to these changes is vulnerability. Altering her appearance, especially in noticeable ways, can be a risk. She's stepping out of her comfort zone to catch your attention, which requires confidence and courage. If she suddenly tries a bold new hairstyle or invests in outfits that seem tailored to your taste, she's exposing herself to potential judgment. The fact that she's willing to take this step indicates how much your opinion matters to her. However, it's important to consider the context. These efforts are usually accompanied by other signs of interest. For instance, if she's experimenting with her appearance, but also making more eye contact, initiating conversations, or seeking your company, it's a clear indicator that she sees you as more than just a friend. The combination of these behaviors paints a compelling picture of her intentions. Her changes in appearance might also extend beyond physical alterations. You might notice her adopting new habits or interests that align with yours. If you're passionate about fitness, she might start mentioning her gym routine. If you're into art, she might bring up a gallery she visited or a new artist she's discovered. These subtle shifts demonstrate her desire to connect with you on multiple levels, not just through physical attraction. To respond to these efforts effectively, acknowledge her changes without overanalyzing them. A simple compliment can go a long way in reinforcing her confidence and encouraging further connection. For example, saying, "That dress looks great on you," or "I like your new hairstyle," shows that you've noticed her efforts without putting her on the spot. The key is balance. While recognizing her changes is important, avoid coming across as overly fixated on her appearance. The Stoics taught the value of appreciating beauty without becoming consumed by it. By maintaining this perspective, you demonstrate emotional depth and self-control, qualities that are equally attractive to her. Ultimately, when a woman makes noticeable changes to her appearance around you, it's her way of expressing attraction and signaling that she values your attention. These efforts are a blend of vulnerability, intention, and care, all aimed at creating a stronger connection. Recognize her gestures for what they are and respond with appreciation and composure. It's in these subtle moments that relationships often move from friendship to something more meaningful. Chapter 7. She asks about your past relationships. Curiosity about your romantic history often goes beyond casual interest. It's a window into her deeper feelings. When a woman consistently brings up topics like your exes, your dating experiences, or your preferences in a partner, it's a clear indication that she's trying to position herself in your life. Her questions about your past relationships are not just small talk, they're a calculated effort to understand who you are emotionally and what kind of partner you're seeking. This behavior is rooted in her desire to evaluate her own compatibility with you. By learning about your past, she's gathering information on what worked for you, what didn't, and how she can potentially align herself with your expectations. For example, she might ask, what kind of qualities do you look for in someone, or why did your last relationship end? These questions are subtle but deliberate attempts to navigate the dynamics of your emotional world. On the surface, her curiosity might seem innocent, but it often reveals her longing to create a connection that transcends friendship. She may also be assessing how open you are to love again. Are you still hung up on someone? Have you moved on? Do you have emotional space for something new? These are questions she's silently asking as she listens to your answers. The Stoics emphasized the importance of understanding the past to make better decisions in the present. Her interest in your romantic history aligns with this philosophy. She's not dwelling on your past for the sake of it, she's using it as a tool to understand what kind of person you are in relationships. This understanding helps her determine how to navigate her own feelings toward you. When she brings up your exes or your previous experiences, it's important to notice the context. Does she ask these questions during intimate, one-on-one conversations? Does she seem genuinely interested and thoughtful in her approach? If so, it's a sign she's emotionally invested in you. She's not just curious, she's actively trying to deepen the bond you share by learning about the experiences that shaped you. Additionally, this behavior often comes with a level of vulnerability on her part. By asking about your romantic past, she's opening the door to potentially sensitive topics. This willingness to discuss such matters shows she trusts you and is comfortable exploring deeper aspects of your life. It's her way of signaling that she's ready to take the relationship to a more personal and meaningful level. However, her curiosity might also include subtle tests. For instance, if she asks about your exes, she might be observing how you talk about them. Do you speak with bitterness, indifference, or fondness? Your tone and words provide her with clues about your emotional state. A man who speaks respectfully about past relationships, even if they ended poorly, demonstrates maturity and emotional intelligence, qualities she likely finds attractive. It's important to respond to her questions with honesty and composure, but avoid oversharing or delving too deeply into negative experiences. The goal is to show that you've grown from your past without appearing bitter or overly nostalgic. A balanced approach will reassure her that you're emotionally available and capable of forming a healthy, future-oriented connection. From a Stoic perspective, this is a moment to practice self-awareness and restraint. The Stoics taught that while the past shapes us, it should not define or control us. When she asks about your romantic history, frame your responses in a way that highlights the lessons you've learned and how they've contributed to your growth. This not only reassures her of your stability, but also demonstrates the kind of depth and reflection that she's seeking in a partner. Moreover, her questions about your past might not be limited to your exes. She might also inquire about your general views on love and commitment. These broader questions indicate that she's looking to understand your values and long-term goals. If she's asking, "What do you think makes a relationship work?" or "Do you believe in soulmates?" she's probing deeper to see if your outlook aligns with hers. Ultimately, when a woman delves into your romantic history, it's her way of navigating her feelings while seeking clarity about where she stands with you. She wants to know if there's potential for something more, and her curiosity is a sign that she values you enough to invest her time and energy in understanding your emotional landscape. By responding thoughtfully and staying composed, you not only validate her interest, but also set the tone for a relationship built on mutual respect and understanding. Whether she realizes it or not, her questions are an invitation for you to open up and pave the way for something deeper. Recognize this moment for what it is, a clear indication that she's seeing you as more than a friend and is ready to explore the possibility of a closer connection. When a woman likes you more than a friend, her actions will often say what her words won't. From her body language to her attentiveness and efforts to spend time alone, these signs are subtle but unmistakable. Pay attention to them, and you'll gain clarity about her feelings. Remember to share your thoughts or experiences in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more insights on relationships and Stoicism. Until next time, stay observant, stay composed, and let her actions guide the way.